Welcome back to Morning Drive. The rules of golf, they can be confusing. That's why here at Golf Channel, Matt Janella and I collaborated to come up with our relaxed rules of golf. 7 rules, that's it. Maximum scores, double par. Penalties are all a stroke. Limit ball search to 2 minutes. Improve your unfortunate lies. Putts conceded with playing partners consent. No equipment restrictions. And number 7 right there, use common sense. And we've got a PGA Master Professional, Jerry Tucker, in who is using common sense. His tour that he runs is the Treasure Coast Senior Tour. Jerry, welcome. You've been mentioned in a lot of the golf publications because you are employing some relaxed rules on your tour. Talk to us a little bit about what you're doing.
The tour is co-founded by myself and Roger Kennedy, and we decided this year to kind of simplify the rules, speed up play, make the game a little bit easier. And just seeing your 7 rules there, we either stole some from you or you stole them from us. But I guess our primary one I tried, with about 6 tournaments to go, we had 20 tournaments, is to treat out of bounds just the same as lateral water.
All stakes are the same.
And also all stakes same. Water hazards too. So everything's red stakes. So drop it. Not only that, but even if you lose a ball in a heavily vegetated area or wooded area, you're going to play that where it crossed that area.
Being a player myself, my background's in playing, we like things the same all the time, and I don't know how that would sit with some of my fellow players. What kind of reaction have you been getting from your players?
It's been almost 100% positive, if not 100%. We have Pete Oakley that won the Senior British Open. Michelle McGann plays our tour. Mike Sanfilippo, some really good players. And I asked him before the Golf Channel, when the Golf Channel contacted me, and said, what's your opinion about this? And it really was unanimous. Pete said, let me have a day to think about it. And I said, uh-oh, we might have a detractor. And he came back and he said, I think it's awesome. You're streamlining things. He said, when you think about it, even on the tour, a tour player can't ordinarily just take a simple rule situation. They need to call in officials. So I think it's time. I think with what happened with USGA this year and the 2 events, I think that's kind of we've reached a threshold where it's time to do something to simplify the rules.
Yeah, I think when so much is at stake as a player, if I'm out playing an event where if it's a major championship and you win, you got a potential to win 25, 30, 40 million dollars. These majors might be worth. You're not even going to try and make the simplest ruling without stopping everything and calling a player in.
No doubt, but
a rules official.
But Dustin Johnson's thing just was, I hate to say it, I was on the National Rules Committee for 6 years. And now I don't know if that happens on our tour. If a ball moves, I don't know whether it's a penalty or not. And if you may sold the putter and it's not a penalty, you may not sold the putter and it is a penalty. So that's 18-2B, and I think they either have to go back to the old rule or at least streamline it, make it simpler.
Yeah, well, you can see this is a hot button topic. We're getting quite a bit of social media reaction. You can see that along the bottom of your screen right there. But ultimately, the idea of simplifying the rules was to increase the speed of rounds. What increase are you seeing in your tour?
I haven't documented exactly, but I'm guessing 10 to 15 minutes is coming because we're going to have no provisional ball. You're not going to go back. Matter of fact, the only provisional we might consider is one that, like Cooperstown, New York, they have a senior event. On the last 2 holes, there's water, 200-yard par 3, and then where you go up, you have to go up, see if your ball's up in play around the water, and come back. May hit a provisional for a water hazard to keep you from going back. But otherwise, no provisionals. You're going to always keep that moving. So I think it's around 10 to 15 minutes. And it's funny, I didn't have any idea you had the 2-minute rule because the penalty is not so severe. If you're going to have to go back to tee, you're going to hunt forever, right? Not just 5, but sometimes 10 minutes.
Right.
Now we're going to limit it to 2 minutes next year, too. The other thing we're going to do next year is no dropping.
Placing.
Yeah. I've got a good friend who's the St. Louis rules guru, Bob Sjogren. He says the USGA is considering a lot of these things, too, but everything will be a place. And when you first hear that, like you say, as a player, you're like, oh, you mean I'm on a cart path and I get to put it in a perfect line? But so what? Like Tony Wallen, who was on the Rules Committee 18 years, he plays our tour. And that's really something he advocates for. He said, tour players, sometimes you drop 4 or 5 times. You could drop twice that's not in the prescribed area, and then 2 more times in the prescribed area.
Waste of time.
Yeah. And matter of fact, you could drop from an unplayable lie and drop it into another unplayable.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good rule.
Well, Jerry, we appreciate you coming in, but more than that, we appreciate you trying something different to see how it works, because some of these things are going to have to change, and you sort of being the pioneer there, we're very grateful for you taking that chance. So thank you very much.
You got it.
All right, so our discussion on pace of play and the complication of rules continues as we go across the room to Gary Williams and Matt Janella. Guys?
Charlie, thanks so much. You're right. We got a guy. That guy makes too much sense for this program.